What if the most powerful weapon you wield isn't steel or words, but the untamed landscape of your own mind? And what if that landscape were so resilient, so unshakable, that no outside force could ever conquer it? The journey to build a mind too dangerous to control begins with realizing just how controlled you already are. From the moment you open your eyes, your thoughts are guided by hidden scripts, a rush of headlines designed to scare you, a carefully curated feed meant to keep you clicking, an endless parade of opinions insisting you choose sides. You think you're choosing, but in reality, your mind is following invisible algorithms, emotional triggers, and long-buried fears. To break free, you must first expose those scripts. Start with radical self-inquiry. For 7 days, carry a small notebook and jot down every time you feel an intense emotion: anger, envy, panic, euphoria. Next to each entry, write the exact thought that triggered it. I'm not good enough. They're against me. I need approval. This exercise shines a flashlight into your unconscious, revealing the chains you've carried all your life. Most people never bother. They'd rather live in darkness. You, however, are choosing illumination. Once you know your chains, it's time to forge new ones, stronger handmade links of your own design. For each recurrent limiting belief, craft a counter ritual. If you fear public failure, deliberately volunteer for a vulnerable position. Speak at a small event, host a live video, or teach a concept you're still learning. When you inevitably falter, inhabit the failure fully. Feel the adrenaline, the racing heart, the urge to flee. Then, steady your breath and say, I remain whole. Over time, your brain rewrites itself. What once paralyzed you now feels familiar, almost trivial. Next, cultivate intellectual guerrilla warfare. The mind too dangerous to control refuses to rest in one ideology. Each morning, read a viewpoint that contradicts your core convictions. Read it with genuine curiosity, not to refute it, but to understand its appeal. Ask, if this were true, what else would be true? This isn't about becoming a cynic. It's about inoculating yourself against groupthink. You'll learn that truth is rarely a fortress with one gate, more like an archipelago of islands connected by bridges you must cross yourself. But knowledge without emotion is brittle. Emotional mastery makes your mind unassailable. Begin each day with a brief cold exposure ritual. Face a cold shower or step outside for 2 minutes in minimal clothing. Name the sensations. This is shock. This is cold. This is life reminding me I'm alive. As your body adapts, so does your mind. It learns that discomfort is simply data, not a crisis. You'll arrive at moments of real hardship, conflict at work, personal loss, sudden change. Not with the terror you once felt, but with a recognition that you've already stared into the storm. Parallel to this, practice the ancient Stoic discipline of negative visualization. Close your eyes and imagine losing what you cherish most: possessions, loved ones, status. Don't wallow in morbidity. View it clinically. See how your heart tightens, how your mind races. Then open your eyes. The real world returns, intact, and within you emerges a quiet gratitude. You've glimpsed the void and lived to tell the tale. This ritual diminishes the power of fear. When you've already faced the worst in your imagination, daily challenges feel manageable. True mental sovereignty also demands reclaiming your time. Digital distractions are the primary mind prisoners of our era. Audit your devices ruthlessly. Remove every app that offers instant gratification: social media, news aggregators, streaming. Replace them with tools that fuel creation: a simple writing app, an e-reader with classical texts, a meditation timer. Declare 1 hour each morning and evening as your unplugged fortress, a sacred window for deep thought, planning, and reflection. In these pockets of uninterrupted time, your mind learns to wander, to dream, to innovate, unconditioned by the pings of external demands. Another cornerstone is the cultivation of deliberate solitude. Schedule regular retreats, half-days or full weekends, alone, without books, without screens. Sit in a quiet room with a journal and let your thoughts rise unbidden. Ask yourself the hard questions. What am I avoiding? Where am I complacent? Which emotional wounds am I refusing to heal? The answers will be messy, even painful. But it is in the chaos of solitude that mental crystals form, silent, potent, unbreakable. As your inner fortress takes shape, test its walls in the arena of public discourse. Engage in conversations or debates not to win, but to probe your own convictions. Welcome criticism as gift. Each challenge exposes a weak point in your arguments, a blind spot in your understanding. Resist the urge to defend or retreat. Instead, ask clarifying questions. Help me see your perspective. This diffuses conflict and strengthens your mental agility. You'll discover that true influence arises from the ability to remain calm, curious, and confident, even when others grow defensive or hostile. But beware. Power attracts predators. In building a mind too dangerous to control, you'll draw attention. Some curious, some hostile. Trolls, manipulators, charismatic ideologues will test your resolve. When they come, resist the reflex to react. See them as case studies in human behavior. Analyze their tactics, flattery, fear, identity appeals, and observe how your mind responds. Each encounter is an opportunity to reinforce your sovereignty. You stand firm, you speak your truth, and then you move on. Rarely do you need to engage beyond exposure. Most aggressors retreat when their illusions fail to provoke. Finally, integrate your triumphs into daily practice. Victory in mental sovereignty isn't an event, it's a habit. At day's end, reflect on 3 moments where you felt pulled by external forces, and 3 times you held your ground. Celebrate the small wins. They are the bricks of your fortress. And each morning, recommit to the path, to self-interrogation, to emotional mastery, to intellectual independence, to deliberate solitude. Building a mind too dangerous to control is no easy undertaking. It demands relentless curiosity, disciplined discomfort, and unwavering honesty. But the payoff is a life lived on your own terms. A life where you are neither victim nor puppet, but the author of your own story. In a world designed to shape you, this is the ultimate act of rebellion. If you're ready to forge your own inner citadel, subscribe and ring the bell, because the real work begins now. Share this with someone you trust to join you in this crucible, and in the comments, name one hidden script you're ready to expose. The moment you own that question, you take the first step toward an ungovernable mind. We live in an age of control, by technology, by culture, by unseen forces that thirst for our attention, our loyalty, our compliance. But when you build your mind as a fortress of clarity, curiosity, and courage, you become the anomaly. You become the unforeseen variable that no one can predict, no one can manipulate, no one can break. And in that power lies your freedom.